Chosen one, pause. A secret investigation has your name on it. Do not let that sentence rush your breathing. Do not let your mind run toward fear. This is not a message meant to shake you, it is a message meant to steady you. Because when heaven allows awareness, it is never to destroy peace. It is to protect purpose. You did not find this message by accident. And this is not about paranoia. This is about preparation. There are seasons when nothing seems to be happening on the surface. But beneath the surface, questions are being asked. Conversations are unfolding. Decisions are forming. And sometimes, your name is being spoken in rooms you have never entered. Before you scroll away, breathe. If this resonates already, comment 777 and declare quietly, God is ordering my steps. Stay with this message until the end. Because what feels mysterious right now will begin to make sense. And the final truth will explain why your name had to be mentioned before your next elevation. You may have sensed it. A subtle shift. A delay that felt unusual. A response that carried hidden weight. A door that didn't open, but didn't fully close either. You may have wondered why your spirit felt alert when everything looked calm. That is not anxiety. That is discernment. There are moments when heaven allows your spirit to feel what your eyes cannot yet see. A secret investigation has your name on it. But listen carefully. It is not necessarily an investigation against you. Sometimes, when God is preparing to trust you with more, life begins testing what you carry. Character is examined. Loyalty is observed. Reactions are weighed. Silence is noted. And heaven watches how you handle pressure before promotion. You thought nothing was happening. But growth was being measured. You thought the delay meant rejection. But timing was being aligned. You thought silence meant absence. But unseen preparation was unfolding. In Luke 12:2 it says, "Nothing is concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known." This verse is not a threat. It is a promise. It means that truth, whether about you or around you, will eventually stand in the light. If your name has been mentioned somewhere, if your work has been evaluated, if your integrity has been questioned, if your consistency has been reviewed, you do not need to panic. Because what is built on truth does not collapse under examination. Let that settle. Examination does not equal accusation. Review does not equal rejection. Observation does not equal condemnation. Sometimes, God allows a secret evaluation to confirm what you yourself have forgotten. You are ready. But here is where emotional maturity becomes essential. When you sense something shifting, your instinct may be to explain yourself before anyone asks. Don't. When you feel misunderstood, your instinct may be to defend your name loudly. Pause. When you sense distance, your instinct may be to chase clarity. Wait. There are seasons where silence protects more than speech. Ephesians 6 verse 13 says, "Stand firm. Not react. Not scramble. Stand. Standing requires confidence that your foundation is solid. Ask yourself gently, have I been moving with integrity? Have I been acting with consistency? Have I been honoring my values even when no one was watching? If the answer is yes, then you do not fear investigation. You welcome it. Because investigation reveals authenticity. There may be someone observing your leadership quietly. Someone reviewing your commitment. Someone evaluating your reliability. Someone watching how you handle pressure. And they have not told you. That does not mean they are against you. Sometimes, doors open silently before they swing wide publicly. Sometimes, recommendations are written before interviews are offered. Sometimes, trust is granted before responsibility is handed over. A secret investigation has your name on it. But it may not be what you fear. It may be favor in disguise. Let's go deeper. Have you noticed how certain conversations recently felt careful? How certain people asked indirect questions? How certain opportunities seemed paused, but not removed? It's because you are in a transition. Transitions are rarely announced. They are assessed. When David was tending sheep, no one publicly declared he was being prepared for kingship. But heaven was observing. When Joseph was managing small responsibilities in prison, no one announced he was being evaluated for leadership. But character was being refined. Your current environment may feel ordinary. But your reactions inside it are being recorded, not to trap you, but to qualify you. Here is the emotional truth. The reason this feels intense is because deep down, you sense change approaching. And change often begins with examination. You are not being hunted. You are being considered. But consideration requires scrutiny. If someone is about to entrust you with influence, they will examine your discretion. If someone is about to trust you with visibility, they will evaluate your humility. If someone is about to elevate you, they will observe how you handle being overlooked. And maybe, just maybe, your recent frustration was part of the process. Because frustration reveals character faster than comfort. Did you stay kind when ignored? Did you remain consistent when unseen? Did you maintain excellence when uncelebrated? That is investigation. But here is the shift. Not all investigations come from people. Some come from life itself. Some come from God. There are seasons where God allows silence just to see if you will remain steady. Will you continue even when applause fades? Will you serve even when recognition delays? Will you guard your integrity when shortcuts appear tempting? You thought the pressure was random. It wasn't. It was refining you. And refining always feels uncomfortable before it feels rewarding. Comment, I will stand firm, if that speaks to you. Now listen carefully to this next part. If your name is under quiet review, do not sabotage yourself by oversharing. This is not the season to broadcast every frustration. Not everyone who listens is supportive. Some observe. And that is okay. But you must guard what you reveal. Proverbs 4 verse 23 says, "Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Guarding your heart also means guarding your responses. If you feel watched, respond with excellence. If you feel evaluated, respond with integrity. If you feel uncertain, respond with calm strength. Do not let fear create cracks in a foundation that has been stable for years. Because here is the truth that will settle your spirit: if the investigation is unfair, it will collapse under truth. If the evaluation is genuine, it will confirm your growth. Either way, you win when you remain aligned. Let's talk about the emotional side of this. It is difficult to feel examined. It can trigger old wounds. It can remind you of times when you were misunderstood. It can awaken insecurities you thought were healed. But this is not that season. This is not about tearing you down. This is about confirming who you've become. Growth feels vulnerable because it exposes you to new levels. And new levels require new stability. If you are stepping into greater influence, you must be unshakable under quiet pressure. Because visibility magnifies everything. Small habits become noticeable. Minor inconsistencies become amplified. Private discipline becomes public strength. So if you sense evaluation, welcome it. Let it sharpen you. Let it refine you. Let it remind you to move carefully. Now here is something powerful. Sometimes the investigation is not about your flaws. It is about your capacity. Can you handle responsibility without ego? Can you receive recognition without losing humility? Can you navigate power without abandoning compassion? These questions are rarely asked directly. They are observed indirectly. You may not know who is watching. But someone is. And here is the part that might surprise you. Heaven is not nervous about your name. If you've been walking in sincerity, you are covered. Isaiah 54 verse 17 says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Notice it does not say weapons will not form. It says they will not succeed. That means scrutiny cannot destroy you. Examination cannot erase you. False assumptions cannot finish you. Because truth withstands testing. So what do you do now? You stay consistent. You strengthen your routines. You protect your peace. You speak less and observe more. You focus on growth, not gossip. You remain dependable. You become sharper. You let your work speak. You let your character defend you. You let your patience prove you. Because here is the final truth. A secret investigation has your name on it. Because your name carries weight. People do not examine what is irrelevant. They examine what is valuable. They review what has potential. They assess what could rise. Your name is not under review because you are weak. It is under review because you are rising. And elevation requires evidence. Evidence of maturity. Evidence of resilience. Evidence of discipline. Evidence of growth. You prayed for expansion. But expansion demands evaluation. You asked for influence. But influence demands integrity. You wanted doors to open. But open doors require trust. And trust is built through quiet observation. So do not fear this season. Do not rush it. Do not attempt to control narratives you cannot hear. Instead, control what you can: your attitude, your consistency, your responses, your standards. There is peace in knowing that if truth is your foundation, exposure becomes promotion. If integrity is your language, investigation becomes confirmation. If character is your strength, scrutiny becomes endorsement. Stand firm. Stay steady. Walk carefully. Because very soon, what was hidden will be revealed. And when it is, you will realize something powerful: the secret investigation was never about destroying your name. It was about preparing it for recognition. If this message resonated, declare in faith: my name carries purpose. And remember this: you are not being secretly dismantled. You are being quietly elevated. Walk in peace. Walk in wisdom. Walk ready. Your name is being prepared for something greater. Chosen one, stay with me. A secret investigation has your name on it. And before your thoughts try to turn that into fear, let me steady your spirit. This is not about panic. This is about preparation. This is not about accusation. This is about alignment. Because whenever your life is about to shift into a higher level of responsibility, visibility, or influence, there is always a season where your name is quietly reviewed. Not always by enemies. Not always by critics. Sometimes by destiny itself. You may have sensed it already. The unusual pause. The careful tone in someone's voice. The delayed response that felt intentional. The opportunity that seemed close, but not fully released. It feels like something is happening behind the scenes. And you're right. Something is happening. But it is not what fear is whispering to you. It is what purpose is preparing for you. Before we go further, if this resonates in your spirit, declare softly: my name is aligned with my purpose. Stay until the end of this message, because the final revelation will explain why this season had to feel hidden before it becomes visible. There are two kinds of investigations in life. One seeks to accuse. The other seeks to confirm. And most of the time, when you are walking in integrity, the investigation is not to destroy you, it is to validate you. Think about it. When someone is being considered for promotion, their work is reviewed. When someone is being trusted with greater responsibility, their consistency is evaluated. When someone is being positioned for leadership, their character is observed. No one announces this review. It happens quietly. Without applause. Without warning. Without explanation. And that silence can feel uncomfortable. You may wonder, why does it feel like I'm being watched? Why do certain people seem distant? Why do small mistakes suddenly feel amplified? It is because you are in a transition. And transitions are rarely loud. They are subtle. They are measured. They are intentional. In this season, your reactions matter more than your results. Your consistency matters more than your speed. Your integrity matters more than your image. And here is something powerful you need to understand: people only investigate what has potential. No one audits something worthless. No one reviews something irrelevant. No one studies something that will never rise. If your name is under quiet review, it is because your name carries weight. Let that truth calm you. Now let's go deeper. Sometimes the investigation is not external. It is internal. Sometimes God allows you to feel examined because He is strengthening your foundation. In Psalm 26 verse 2, David says, "Test me, Lord, and try me, examine my heart and my mind." That is not the prayer of someone afraid. That is the prayer of someone confident in their integrity. When you are secure in who you are becoming, testing does not terrify you. It refines you. But refinement always feels intense before it feels rewarding. Maybe recently you have felt pressure in areas that used to feel easy. Maybe conversations feel heavier. Maybe decisions feel more significant. Maybe you feel like your words are being remembered more carefully. That is not random. When your influence increases, your margin for carelessness decreases. You cannot step into new rooms with old habits. You cannot enter higher seasons with lower discipline. You cannot carry expanded responsibility with unguarded reactions. So this investigation, this quiet review, is aligning you. And here is where emotional maturity becomes critical. You must resist the urge to over-explain yourself. You must resist the temptation to defend your reputation prematurely. You must resist the impulse to react emotionally to subtle shifts. Because sometimes, the quickest way to fail a silent test is to panic during it. Ephesians 6:13 says, "After you have done everything, stand." Stand. That word carries weight. Standing means you are steady even when clarity is delayed. Standing means you trust your foundation even when you don't know who is observing it. Standing means you do not crumble under invisible pressure. And here is something else you need to hear. If this investigation is unfair, truth will defend you. If this evaluation is genuine, growth will confirm you. Either way, panic will not help you. But integrity will. Let's talk about something deeper. Sometimes the investigation is about your emotional control. Can you remain calm when misunderstood? Can you remain kind when overlooked? Can you remain disciplined when distracted? Can you remain silent when provoked? These questions are rarely asked directly. They are answered through behavior. Someone may be watching how you handle criticism. Someone may be observing how you manage stress. Someone may be evaluating whether your confidence is stable or fragile. And here is the truth: fragile confidence reacts. Stable confidence responds. If you feel watched, do not shrink. If you feel evaluated, do not overperform. Just remain consistent. Consistency is more impressive than intensity. Intensity can be temporary. Consistency builds trust. Now consider this. Joseph did not know he was being prepared for leadership while managing a prison. David did not know he was being positioned for a throne while tending sheep. Their daily obedience became their qualification. Your daily discipline is doing the same. Even if no one has told you. Even if no one has acknowledged you. Even if no one has confirmed it. A secret investigation has your name on it. But it may not be about finding fault. It may be about confirming readiness. There is also another layer. Sometimes the investigation is spiritual. Not mystical in a dramatic way, but developmental. When you pray for expansion, heaven examines capacity. When you ask for influence, heaven examines humility. When you desire recognition, heaven examines character. Because promotion without preparation becomes pressure. And pressure without foundation creates collapse. So if this season feels tight, if it feels like small things matter more, if it feels like your reactions carry greater weight, it is because you are being strengthened for something larger. And here is the part most people miss. The investigation phase often feels lonely. Because it happens in silence. People do not tell you when they are observing your leadership. They do not announce when they are evaluating your trustworthiness. They do not broadcast when they are considering your name for opportunity. Silence can feel like rejection. But often, it is consideration. Do not confuse the two. Now listen carefully. This is the season to guard your words. Loose speech can undo quiet preparation. Oversharing can weaken strong positioning. Complaining can diminish perceived stability. This does not mean suppress your emotions. It means choose your outlets wisely. Not everyone who listens is aligned with your growth. Some people collect information without understanding context. So speak with intention. Move with wisdom. Act with clarity. Let your actions tell your story. Because here is the truth, when your name carries potential, it attracts attention. Not all attention is negative. Some attention is opportunity. Some attention is preparation. Some attention is destiny aligning pieces behind the curtain. And here is something else you need to hear. You cannot control who discusses your name. But you can control how your name behaves. You cannot control who observes your journey. But you can control the integrity of your steps. You cannot control silent rooms. But you can control visible character. And character, over time, becomes reputation. Reputation, over time, becomes trust. Trust, over time, becomes elevation. That is the process. Slow. Quiet. Intentional. If you feel pressure, it is because growth stretches you. If you feel alert, it is because awareness sharpens you. If you feel examined, it is because preparation is refining you. Do not sabotage this season by assuming the worst. Assumptions create anxiety. Faith creates steadiness. If something truly misaligned is happening, it will surface. Luke 8 verse 17 reminds us again, nothing hidden remains hidden forever. Truth rises. Always. So instead of worrying about invisible conversations, focus on visible excellence. Instead of fearing unseen observers, strengthen seen discipline. Instead of chasing reassurance, build resilience. And here is the powerful shift. When you stop fearing investigation, you start mastering it. When you welcome growth, you remove intimidation. When you trust your foundation, scrutiny loses power. Because the person who knows their integrity does not fear examination. Now let me tell you the final truth. A secret investigation has your name on it. Because a new level has your name on it. And before you step into that level, confirmation must happen. Not to embarrass you. Not to trap you. But to secure you. You are not being secretly dismantled. You are being strategically positioned. You are not under attack. You are under evaluation for elevation. And elevation always follows evidence. Evidence of discipline. Evidence of maturity. Evidence of consistency. Evidence of integrity. So what do you do now? You remain steady. You remain disciplined. You remain humble. You remain observant. You protect your peace. You sharpen your focus. You deepen your character. And you trust that if your name is being spoken in rooms you have not entered yet, it is because those rooms are preparing to welcome you. Let this settle in your spirit. Your name is not under threat. Your name is under consideration. And consideration is the doorway to opportunity. If this message confirmed what you have been sensing, declare, I am ready for the next level. Stand firm. Stay grounded. Move wisely. Because what feels hidden today will make sense tomorrow. And when the door opens, you will realize this investigation was not the beginning of your fall. It was the confirmation of your rise.